Alan. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How
Hey,
are you?
I'm good. I'm a little tired today. Had a very interesting morning. Had to do some lab work, but hey,
Oh,
one has to know if everything is okay.
yeah.
yeah,
Hope
that's
everything's
important.
okay, man.
And so we're going to be talking about your show that already the first episode is live, and the show is called Art Show with Captain Skinner. Now,
Mhm.
this question for both of you. How did you guys came to this idea for this type of art show?
Um, well, Skinner and I have been talking about doing a show like a Bob Ross style art show that takes place in outer space for years.
Yeah.
Um, and thanks to the folks at Etch, we were able to like shoot a whole season of that in front of
Yeah,
a
we
green
had a
screen.
show before on Super Deluxe. Alan worked at Super Deluxe, and we had a
Okay.
art show, or it was called Drawing with Skinner, and it had like guest celebrities, and we'd all hang out and draw and talk. It was kind of a podcast. But I was like, what if it's just more weird and in space and like Bob Ross, like a PBS channel, but all absurd and psychedelic, you know? So that's yeah, somehow it's a miracle. It has been born. It's here.
And what can the people expect on these upcoming episodes? You guys can both uh give punch in in your answers, but what can the people or the fans expect on these upcoming episodes? Already the first one, I love the nod with Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby is one of my favorite artists in the comic book industry. Even though right now, man, I don't remember his name, but I do have a collection of one specific artist that I love. But what can the people expect on these upcoming episodes?
More of this bizarre stream of consciousness stuff, but I will probably, I do mention some artists, and I mean, I talk about the things that are going on in the paintings, the artists that influenced me, also just the stream of consciousness, comedy, weirdness, the body horror, the strangeness that Alan puts in there. Definitely had to get Jack Kirby in there. Had to get my real life influences do are in there. Like everything I'm painting, I care about, and stuff like that. But yeah, Alan, I don't know if you could add to that.
I would say just yeah, I mean, we cover a wide range of different subject matter. Everything from love to time to like um what else? Rebirth,
Magic, something.
magic.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
every episode has got its own theme for sure.
mhm.
Okay, and ha being the fact that you both have been talking about making this type of like show and it happened. How how is it how you guys both like go to like do this collaboration on thinking of what's going to happen next? Being the fact that it's like very when you see the first episode, it's very bizarre. There's a lot of things going on happening around, a lot of
Mhm.
facts. plus plus the art, but how you both collab on setting up these episodes, because I imagine there's a lot of like uh critical thinking and just having like I don't know. I imagine you guys having, a pegboard trying to connect everything, so that everything can have like a nice story and more facts. But how does that work with you guys to create each episode?
Well, we start by we broke down the season by figuring out what each episode would be about, the thematically. And then Skinner, took those subjects and sort of decided what he was going to paint to go along with that subject. And then, like, once we start filming for each episode, I know we're doing the science episode, I'll have a list of bullet points of things I want to hit. But Skinner will also just like improvise and riff, and I'll be like, oh, this is a perfect segue to have him talk about this thing I have written down in my notes. So I'll be like, okay, Skinner, segue into this, and then he'll like weave it in. It's very organic, I would say, but we do go in with sort of a loose plan, but then it inevitably goes off the rails because Skinner's so good at improvising and just saying weird stuff too. Skinner's naturally just very funny.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So well, it's like, I mean, the thing is like when you're in that situation, it is very funny because as somebody who has a desire to be funny and be in, I don't know, take up space doing comedy and jokes and create chaos through humor. When you're in the position to have to actually do it, sometimes you start to freaking get preoccupied with like the pressure to do it instead of just doing it. And so it's like this like the making jokes and being funny like will all of a sudden I'll just be like, oh my God, am I ruining this show? You start getting sweaty and you're just like, oh my God, what am I doing? You know what I mean? And so it's like, and I'm not even on acid. It feels like I'm on acid. It feels like I'm coming down off bad drugs. But then I have to go, no, dude, stop. It's gonna be okay. Just have fun. Like just like you just have fun, man. It's okay. You know.
Yeah. And like for the science episode, Skinner will get quiet because he's like focused on the painting, and I'll be like, "All right, say this fact out," and he'll just like say a random science fact that I found online or something.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I imagine that every for the second episode moving forward, everything is going to escalate a little bit much more depending on the topic that it's the episode on, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's
Hope
all
so.
pretty consistently chaotic.
Yeah,
And
good.
and is it are there any plans like, if you go to a second season, right? Are there any plans to like have guests maybe that have a great connection with Skinner or any other artists that you would like to like bring into like any future episode if we get a second season?
I mean, I personally would love to. We have a couple of guests that appear this season, but it would be fun to bring in more people next season. There's a lot of fun people that I think would be great in the studio.
Yeah, I like the idea of well when we were doing the first show, a drawing with Skinner, I remember in my mind feeling like so much effort and time and energy was going to like navigate and deal with celebrities that I was like, this is messing up the art part, the weird like like you know what I mean? I was like because I was like there was so much pressure to make it like professional or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But maybe this is me being like kind of a bad contributor, but I like the idea of celebrities coming on, but not necessarily being like of them being like what if like, oh, my mom or my dad's coming to visit the show. And I'm like, oh, it's my dad, but the dad is like some celebrity guy and he's like, what's up, son? Are you doing, are you winning? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, something like that. But again, um, whatever's possible, honestly, because we have a really amazing celebrity person this season who shows up as God. And
Okay.
so stuff like that to me is like the more that's what I like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but whatever. Anything will happen. It don't matter. Get Brad Pitt on here.
And out of all the episodes, which of do you both consider like the most craziest one? That you when you finish filming it, you guys were like, okay, I don't know how we did this, but it has to work, but it will work.
I would say the rebirth episode, which will be the last episode, is probably one of the crazier ones.
I think that one, I'm excited to see this one. That's yeah, I'm really curious because the stuff we filmed,
Okay.
the stuff we filmed that day was truly insane. And I'm very curious. I mean, I'm like every time because here's the cool part about not being able to remember anything is that you get to experience it again and it's brand new. And like there's so many things that I forgot that we filmed that recently I was looking through some photos. And I was like, oh shit, right. We did this thing and then we did this. Like that's crazy. So while the we were filming the show, um, I was actually like, oh my God, are we gonna even be able to pull this off? This is insane. Alan, this is too crazy. We gotta stop. We can't do this. But Alan's like, nah, man, let's just try. Let's just see. And so like there's something about the ambitiousness that Alan had which I feel like people think that I'm the crazy one or whatever, but Alan was the one who was pushing for it to be more crazy. So,
Okay.
so I would say that. Like I would say Alan was like wanting this to be more a fuller psychotic experience, whereas I was like, I'm scared. I don't know, man. Like I just want it to be chill, like So everybody can thank Alan. Alan is the psycho. I'm the pretend psycho, but he look at him. He look like boiling with psychotic energy over there. It's like that's what I like. I like to see
And
that.
so Skinner, Alan, this is my final question for both of you today. So if you could describe our show with Captain Skinner in one word, what would it be?
Um, Hallucinatory.
Mm. Cathartic.
Cathartic? Okay. I see it. I see it.
Hmm.
Skinner, Alan, thank you so much for giving us the time to talk about the show. And super excited for everybody to get to watch everything. And hope that we can talk in any future endeavors in the future.
I hope so
Awesome.
too, John. I hope everything goes good for you with your testing. I hope your health is okay. I love Puerto Rico. I love going there. I It's the best.
Thank you. Thank you.